Barbara Skrzypek's death has shocked Poland. After speaking with Ombudsman Marcin Wiącko and Barbara's attorney, Krzysztof Gotowicz, Polish President Andrzej Duda sent a special letter to Prime Minister Donald Tusk. The letter posed 7 key questions. What were the reasons behind the appointment of prosecutor Ewa Wrosek as the desk officer in the so-called Two Towers case? And who made it? Did the National Prosecutor's Office put the proceedings in question under its supervision? What was the rationale behind the decision to deny the participation of Miss Barbara Skrzypek's attorney in her interview as a witness? Were other witnesses in these proceedings also denied the opportunity to have their attorney participate in the hearings? How long did the interrogation of Miss Barbara Skrzypek last? Were interruptions ordered during its duration? Was there a situation of refusal to order a break requested by the witness? Was the interrogation recorded? Who prepared the minutes of the hearing? Did Miss Barbara Skrzypek read the minutes herself? The letter was also addressed for the attention of the speakers of the Sejm and the Senate, the President of the Constitutional Court and the First President of the Supreme Court, as well as the President of the Supreme Administrative Court and the Defender of Civil Rights. It is very important that the President spoke on this issue, and I am grateful to him. The Prime Minister, in his well-known way, worked out to perfection, was nowhere to be found. He wasn't at the Council of Ministers yesterday, and he wasn't at the Polish Sejm today. For a normal person, well, this is a very tough crisis. For a politician with some insight, and I don't deny that Donald Tusk is such a politician, also realizes this. That's why he just ran off. Polish Prime Minister Tusk, pushed to the wall, finally spoke out. This probably won't surprise anyone, but the politician doesn't seem to feel guilty about anything. Mr. President, restoring the rule of law after 8 years of lawlessness, for which you share responsibility, was and is the main goal of my government. And the days when the President, Prime Minister or party chairman influence the fate of investigations are gone. Please get used to it somehow. That is, we can presume that the President will not get answers to the questions. Similar tactics are being used by politicians in the ruling coalition who are doing their best to have the shocking topic die down. Do you gentlemen like that the most politicized prosecutor is conducting a political investigation? We don't like that you are trying to set up people here. You are Kaczynski's envoy. Is this the independent prosecutor's office you fought for? Is this the element of independence? Law and justice politicians who want to answer to an independent prosecutor's office will really have that chance, and let them not push themselves so much in front of that prosecutor's office, really. The nervousness of the power politicians is fueled by the fact that Barbara Skrzypek died of a heart attack less than 3 days after a nearly 5-hour interrogation, to which the interrogator's attorney was not allowed. The woman was interrogated by 3 experienced lawyers, including Ewa Wrosek, Jacek Dubois, and Christian Lasik. She died recently, most likely from the fact that she got tremendously stressed because she was put in such conditions. Prosecutor Ewa Wrosek, who conducted the investigation, has repeatedly publicly declared her political views. The woman is even brimming with a desire for revenge against the Polish right wing. We are living in post-war times when there are gangs roaming the forest. The state is still under threat, and it is necessary to act in an unconventional way. The prosecutor is supposed to act in a non-standard way. The prosecutor has the right to judge for himself what action is in the public interest. I have the courage to do this. Those who criticize me the loudest do not. I have not broken the law, but most, the rules and regulations. So the conduct of such an investigation, which is going on in the case of opposition leader Jarosław Kaczyński, by such an extremely politicized prosecutor, is a grim grotesque. We are dealing with a political trial carried out by a politicized prosecutor's office, and this is the crown evidence. And then we are dealing with a tragedy, with a huge tragedy. When asked about this appalling case, the presidential candidate and vice president of Civic Platform, Rafał Trzaskowski, washed his hands of the matter. He doesn't know anything about it. Please ask the prosecutor's office. I do not have any additional information here. This behavior of the prosecutor's office does not guarantee justice. Ordinary citizens are becoming increasingly concerned about this, because if the machine seems to go unpunished in cases involving politicians, what about when an ordinary citizen falls under the legal steamroller? This is a scandal, of course. This lady prosecutor should not rule on this case at all. She should not handle this case. The lady prosecutor is acting like some kind of criminal. I'm simply afraid that I might fall into such cases, because it's a man as he lives that can fall to them. There's no telling what they will do to a person. As President Duda noted in his letter, the original sin of the current situation in the prosecutor's office is its illegal takeover last January. At that time, from 1 hour to the next, Minister Bodnar stopped recognizing National Prosecutor Dariusz Barski. The illegality of this action was confirmed by the Supreme Court. This war of politicians against judges and judges against judges if prosecutors also join this war, will lead to the destruction of the state. Law and Justice asserts at the beginning of the end of the period of militant democracy, a time of permanent law-breaking, will be the victory in the presidential elections. No power lasts forever, but we, Mr. Speaker, will not seek revenge. We will seek justice, and it will come sooner than you think. The policy of so-called settlements, which in practice is brutal revenge against the opposition, seems to have no limits. Even a death or a huge tragedy is not a bucket of cold water. On the contrary, the government is announcing more settlements.